All right, everybody, welcome back to the Narcolepsy Boy 94 YouTube channel. Malik here. Today, I have two guests, first time on the channel, who I will let introduce themselves in a second. But to break down the criteria of what we're doing today, we're going to be doing one of the special list top 10 rankings that we've been doing here on the channel. And today, we're doing top 10 greatest male WWE superstars of all time in order. We're going to throw out some names at first, and then we'll start ranking them from 1 to 10. So I don't know these guys' criteria. I'm not sure who they have in their top 10. Top 10s can be a little subjective sometimes. You're going to have some unanimous people, but then you're going to have some names that people might want to fight for. So it's going to be interesting to see how it's broke down. But Aiden, I'll let you plug in your stuff, and then Van Fleet go after to everybody where they can follow you, and make sure you guys subscribe to their channels and platforms and show them some love.
What's up, guys? I'm Aiden Chong. If you don't know me, I make wrestling, basketball, and other fun content on TikTok, on YouTube, on Instagram. Everywhere is Aiden Chong. We have the Discord server if you do want to join it, trying to build a community every single day, trying to have as much fun on the internet as we possibly can. Thank you to Malik for having me. And yeah, if you want to find me anywhere, Aiden Chong says it right there on the screen.
Yo, thank you, Malik, for having me. I appreciate it. My name is Van Fleet. I'm a wrestling content creator. I'm a pop artist, and I do a lot, I guess. I don't really know. We make some silly little wrestling content, and I make music. You can check me out on Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon, whatever you've got. I think it's pretty good. But other than that, at Van Fleet WWE on all other platforms for my wrestling content. Thank you again, Malik, for having me. I'm excited for this.
Let's start throwing out some names, fellas. Who are some people that you feel like definitely should be on here? John Cena's one.
John Cena.
Taker goes. I'm sorry, but Undertaker's going number one.
I don't know, buddy.
Well, it depends. We'll see about that.
Undertaker, I think Taker and Cena are definitely the locks on this list. It just depends on where.
Okay, so Undertaker, John Cena, definitely named. Shawn Michaels, unanimous.
Yes.
Yes.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
Unanimous. The Rock, I would say.
Dwayne, unfortunately,
even though lower on the list, but I think he's on here.
He's on there.
Pisses me off, but unfortunately, yes, Dwayne. I have
Triple H should be unanimous, I feel.
I think that's fair.
We'll see. I think
Roman Reigns would be in mine.
We'll see.
It's crazy. No, we'll see. It's crazy.
I can be cool with Roman flirting.
We can write down Roman, Randy Orton.
I would be comfortable with Randy Orton flirting in that area.
Okay, so we got Randy in there.
Brock Lesnar.
I don't.
I hate it. The conversation.
What about Edge?
You're not wrong.
I'm taking. I mean, Edge is definitely in the conversation, but
what? 10-time world champion, multiple-time WrestleMania main eventer. You kind of have to, as much as it's it's an
I think I would put some people over Brock. I'm not gonna lie. There were some people. Edge would be one of them for sure.
I'm not putting Edge over Brock Lesnar.
I would put Edge.
I'm not either. I'm sorry. I like Edge.
Far better on the mic, better storyteller, better at everything. Honestly, if we're being honest, Brock's got the accomplishments,
and the fact that he kills everyone.
Yeah, I mean,
he definitely.
But I think Edge is a name who will flirt at the bottom of this list. I don't think.
Yeah, Edge wouldn't be like in the higher.
CM Punk.
No.
CM Punk wouldn't make that. I'm sorry, he wouldn't make it.
What do we think about Cody Rhodes?
No,
not
yet.
Really? Not even.
He's going to get there. But he hasn't done enough yet.
Not even like sniffing number 10.
No.
Really?
Top 15 maybe, but I can't put him on there. What about somebody like throw out other name? What about somebody like Bret Hart?
That's a name that comes to mind, but I can't say confidently yes.
Okay, so we keep him for a mention.
Yes, he's a mention. I feel like he's going to make the bottom.
Okay.
I feel like there's just a lot of other superstars with everything, including the accomplishments that would over Bret Hart.
I hate to be the one to do it. I really do. But there's one glaring omission that we haven't mentioned yet.
I already know where this guy's going.
Have to have on here. And I hate to be the one to say it. But it is almost July 4th as we are recording this, and I feel like this is not a realistic WWE list if we don't have the Real American Brother on this list. Unfortunately,
he's on there. Yeah.
Unfortunately,
Hogan's on there. Unfortunately, if we're being not biased, yeah, he would be on there. What about Seth Rollins?
He's a guy who's going to flirt that bottom of the list.
At some point, yes, I don't feel comfortable putting him above some of the guys I have down right now. Yeah. We have a Chris Jericho, a Kurt Angle, a Jeff Hardy, even if you want to go that crazy.
I guess. No. WWE only, no.
That's fair.
Now we get to the order. So we're going from 1 to 10, right? So from
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4,
I
5,
think
6,
so.
7, 8, 9 to 10. So we threw out a lot of unanimous ones, and then there are going to be some ones that we'll come back to that we're going to kind of be in the conversation. As we know, we threw out some
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, you threw out, Brock, Edge, some people that will kind of
Dominic
debate.
Mysterio.
Of course, got to be in there. Omos obviously is the greatest of all time, but he's on a list.
Monday Americano.
I don't
Yeah.
think I can put him. I don't think I can put him above Dominic. I'm sorry.
Omos is on a GOAT list by himself. He got his own list. That's how great he is. So
Homo sapiens. Rise.
So who do we have? Let's start breaking down. Let's start with the top 5. We'll start with the top 5 greatest WWE superstars of all time. Now the top 5 obviously is going to be crucial to certain people because you got to think of all the credentials when it comes to impact, storytelling, promo ability, all that stuff alone. So I want you guys to give me 5 people in the top 10 that you feel like got to be in the top 5. We're not ranking them yet, but like these people got to be in the 5 for you.
Just looking personally at my short list, I've got Taker, Austin, Cena. Unfortunately, Hulkamania brother. I want to say Shawn Michaels, but he didn't have a long enough career. I will probably have to go Triple H, honestly.
Shawn Michaels didn't have a long enough career.
Really?
Well, he took. I think if he was there during the Attitude Era, it's difficult because he was New Generation and then came back for Ruthless Aggression. I think he missed that really key period that could have made him literally the GOAT. I don't know.
Man.
I think he was
crazy.
part of that early Attitude Era, man. I think if anything, he birthed the Attitude Era.
He was. I mean, the match with Bret, the screwing over Bret Hart, 100%. But
the match with Steve Austin and DX.
I would feel comfortable putting Triple H above Shawn Michaels as an entire career body of work.
It's a conversation. If you were going to ask me, I think I agree with most of those.
Yeah, I can't.
Cena, Austin, Taker. I don't think The Rock is higher than Austin. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I just feel like The Rock took too many breaks at too many points, even when he was younger, and I just don't feel comfortable putting him that high. He's on this list, but he's not top 5.
I think Austin, Taker, and Cena. Those are my top 3 for sure.
That's fair.
Those are my top 3. So we can go ahead and kind of, if you want, we can kind of just rank those 3 because I think we all had the top 3. Like we all said those 3.
Yeah, those are all in our top 5. Yes,
100%.
I think we all said those 3 names first anyway. So
I would unfortunately,
I think Austin's third.
Removing my bias, I think Hogan has to be in top 3, but I'm comfortable lowering him if y'all aren't. That's fine for me. I'm okay with it.
I can settle at 4.
Hogan's in my top 5. He's in my.
I can settle at 4 because I think those other 3 had more influence.
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that.
Hogan's in my top 5. I would put him like at 4.
That's fine.
Ranking, but I think Cena, Austin, and Taker I would rank above him personally.
Yeah.
Due to just different variety of things. I think Cena and Taker had more longevity, had better overall stories, matches, and Austin had just way bigger impact at the level that Hogan did, but he took it to another level with the Attitude Era impact. So
I would argue Cena goes 3. And I will say that because Cena was the face of the worst era of professional wrestling.
Nope. New Generation era is the worst era of professional wrestling. That was
Yeah.
You can't say that doesn't count. That's an era that was there. That is the worst era of WWE. That literally they almost died during that time frame. The company almost went to shit.
But like comparatively, Austin didn't have longevity, but he was the face of the Attitude Era. Hogan was the face of the Golden Era. I can't feel comfortable. I can't. It was like people were actively turning off their televisions as Cena as the top guy.
That's not wrong. That's not wrong.
I can't. Wow, I'm completely 180. Listen, I might spoil this. I think Cena's 1. I think Austin's 3rd because I think with The Undertaker, there was a lot of years where there was a lot of duds there. And the character was good, but the career really, there was a long portion of it where it took a while to really settle into things. By WrestleMania 13, 14, he was really establishing himself as The Undertaker. When Mick Foley at Mankind, you had some good stuff with Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Steve Austin. It took a little while to get there. And then early 2000s was still solid, but I still think there was a lot of duds. I think for Cena, I mean, you don't have to – obviously the era wasn't great, but I don't blame that on him. I blame that on Vince not having enough talent to put around Cena. The Miz is a good talent, but he's not the second best guy in your company level. And the fact that Cena had to put up with that for a long time and Sheamus in 2010 as your big WWE champion, that's not John Cena's fault.
But people were turning their TVs off in droves, and I can't put him on top of Undertaker, who yes had some stinkers, but Cena had some stinkers as well. Taker has the longevity. He turned a concept of him winning into a bigger deal than the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. Over the span of 25 years. It was wrestled from Survivor Series 90 to 2020. That is at a relatively high level. Obviously, the last few years were iffy, but I have to put Taker at 1 for the longevity.
Cena has way more bangers than a lot of wrestlers all time, and the fact he made a banger out of the Great Khali, made a banger out of Mark Henry at like 40 something years old. And listen, we're not even talking about the match he had with Shawn Michaels. Again, he's one of the greatest. So that doesn't
Undertaker had 2 with Shawn Michaels.
I mean, you make a good point about Taker. You make a good point about Cena. Taker has the longevity. I think he has the greatest character we've ever seen too in WWE that holds a lot of weight. Where I think at one point when we all started watching Taker, we all kind of felt like he wasn't like human at one point. You know what I mean? Even though like we knew he was a guy, it just felt he made the character so believable where it just kind of felt like
get shivers. It's one
that guy wasn't normal. Like, Cena is a unique case because even though yes, there were certain people that didn't like Cena and may have turned off TV, he also impacted a whole generation as well. I think a lot of people also don't use that part of the argument when they're talking about Cena. They always want to use the relatively booze, but people who may have grew up in that era or watched, John Cena was an inspiration for a lot of those people. Like he was the reason that they fell in love with WWE. This guy has like more Make-A-Wishes granted than anybody. We're talking like just anybody in the history of celebrities, like not even just wrestling. So his impact alone speaks high volume. So there was a portion of the audience that obviously you heard weekly that didn't like Cena and wanted somebody different, but there was also a portion of the audience that really did like John Cena. So it's like a weird, unique balance. I will say the PG era is one of the worst eras. I wouldn't say it is the worst era. It's one of the worst times you had, when you're looking at the 2010, 2012 range, like you got Miz as WWE champion, main eventing WrestleMania with John Cena, and you got Jack Swagger as the World Heavyweight champion, and they're putting the title on Del Rio as well. Like just weird times where they didn't have as many top superstars. You got to remember Triple H went to a part-time schedule at that time. Shawn Michaels retired. Batista left wrestling. Jericho was in and out at that point as well. Edge had to retire. Like they lost a big portion of their top guys. Undertaker was no longer around as much as well. Like they were kind of in the rebranding stage until like the Shield came around and, they started investing more around that 2013, 2014 time era. So it's a very unique conversation between the two because I feel like Cena and Taker are like 1A, 1B for me. Austin I would have at 3 only just because his longevity wasn't too long. He has the impact, but I can't put him over Cena and Taker for me just because his peak wasn't relatively long compared to the others. The reason he ranks so high for me just because he was the important vocal point of the Attitude Era that helped propel the company to win the Monday Night Wars. Like he was the guy that was the centerpiece and he's the biggest star they've ever had in the company. So that has to be acknowledged, but his peak was like 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? And you talk about The Rock being a portion. Now Austin was gone for a portion of that time too, like due to his injuries and stuff. Like he was out for about a year and stuff and some change and then came back and then he walked out of the company and then he came back and people don't forget like when he came back, he was only back for like a month or 2 and then he retired. You know what I mean? So I can't put him over those two personally just because of the longevity. And I feel like these two just have better overall body of work when it comes to comparing to Austin's body of work. He has very good impact and body of work, but these guys just have the longevity of the body of work that just I feel like outweighs what Austin had.
I agree on Austin at 3. I think that's for sure.
That's fair. That's fair.
Now so Austin would be 3, and now we just got to agree on the 1 and 2 though.
I could agree that Taker's number 1, Cena's number 2. With the reasoning being, I feel like The Undertaker's character work, again, is unmatched. The fact that he kept the kayfabe alive for so many years, it was something that is unfathomable. And even, like, especially now, you'll never see something like that again. And the way he was able to do it while making alterations to his character, whether it was a good guy, whether it was a bad guy, he was always still cool. He was always The Undertaker, and he always had fans. I don't think anyone could say they hated The Undertaker. And the streak is something that is... I would say for me, now that we're talking about it, the streak probably puts him over because
the streak was bigger than the title matches at one point. Like if you weren't in the main event or the world title matches, that's the match you want to be a part of. The streak, you know what I mean? Like, so I mean, it definitely weighs. It weighs the variance of it. I feel like also though, the impact that I feel like Cena holds. If you look at that 10-year stretch that he was the guy, a lot of people said that they didn't want him as the guy, but if you really look back and think about it, like if it wasn't him, I don't know how well that era really would have been.
One thing I want to argue is there were so many top guys who were replaceable. Cena was not replaceable. It didn't matter if it did. They didn't want him.
But I feel like CM Punk was the alternative that could have, if not replaced Cena, they could have really put him up there as the guy if they wanted to. What also holds weight for Cena for me too, though, which is really hard. Wrestling is a lot about, reinventing yourself at times. You know what I mean? Like reinventing your character. Cena for like 10 years stayed the same and always managed to be relevant and on top of the company. That's like very hard to do, to consistently, even though you're getting the half boos and half cheers. And that's why a lot of people didn't like Cena, due to those reasons, because he was the same guy. But for you to remain the same dude for an entire decade and still manage to move merch, still manage to be the top guy, feel important to the product, make people feel some type of way about you, whether they were booing or cheering, like that's very hard to do in the top position, because you've seen a lot of top stars always reinvent themselves. Stone Cold did it with the heel turn. The Rock did it. Taker did it. Everybody has done it. You know what I mean? Cena's now the heel now, but he's not in his prime anymore. But in his prime, to manage to stay the same the whole time, even when people were just begging, like, Cena, please, just give me one heel turn. Just do something. Just something different. And always just managed to stay the same. But even though he stayed the same, he always still felt like he was an important key to the product. You know what I mean? Like, even when he was hurt and wasn't there, people were like, bro, we need Cena back. Like, Cena needs to come back. And every time he came back, people would cheer for him, and then they start to boo him again, like the next day or something. So I think that also has to be talked about too.
My final argument for why Undertaker should be above Cena. Cena is a 17-time world champion. How many of those title reigns do you remember?
I would counterpoint that argument, though. I would say that U.S. Open Challenge that Cena did that's pretty, like, for him to be a main event guy and then move down to the mid card and save.
I will give you that. I will give you that.
To save a mid card title that was like really forgotten about to the product to help raise it up again. He made the mid card title feel so important that they did the title for title.
And not only mid card title,
and the bangers he was having too.
The talent that he elevated. Like, if Neville didn't get hurt, the man did Neville some good work. For Kevin Owens, obviously, he did well. Sami Zayn, he unfortunately got hurt, but I think he would have gotten the push had he not gotten injured after that match, because that was a banker.
So
it's very even though. It's very even. I feel like too, for me, the U.S. Open Challenge, like, to me, is kind of, even though it was already kind of shut down to me in my mind, but there were still people who doubted Cena's wrestling ability, like he can't wrestle, he can't have good matches. That whole U.S. Open Challenge, I'm like, bro, if you were watching this and you still believe this man can't put on great matches with anybody he's in the ring with, you're not watching the same product I'm watching. I clearly don't know what you're watching. You got to pick one. We got to stand 10 toes down.
It's got to be unanimous. So
I already said John Cena's my GOAT. That's my number one.
If we're doing it like that, then I'm saying John Cena.
No. I'm a good sport. I will surrender peacefully. All right, that's number 1 through 3. I think we all said Hogan at 4, right?
Yeah, I think 1 through 4 is.
I think Hogan. I think we had Hogan
that's
at 4.
Fine.
So we got one. So number 1 is John Cena. 2 is Undertaker. 3 Stone Cold. 4 Hulk Hogan. Now we're going for number 5, and then we'll do 6 through 10.
Is it Triple H?
No, sorry, it's not. I'm very flexible, but I can never put Triple H over Shawn Michaels.
Wait, who's over him then?
Shawn Michaels for sure. If we're talking 5, I wouldn't. Triple H has never been better than Shawn Michaels. Never.
Yeah, but Triple H has the longevity over him by a long shot.
I mean, yeah, because he didn't take the break and everything, but Shawn is a better storyteller. He's had way better stories, way better in the ring, obviously. He's better on the mic. Like, he's just a better superstar.
Yeah, I don't know, man. If we're including everything, I don't know. It might be Triple H, man.
There's nothing Triple H does better than Shawn Michaels other than being a heel. That is the only thing he does better than Shawn Michaels. And at one point, if we're talking about the guy, when was Triple H ever the guy? Never was the guy.
I love Shawn. I do. I genuinely adore Shawn Michaels matches.
It's close. Listen, I'm not saying it's overwhelming Triple H at all, but I'm saying it's an argument that I think you're not even.
I think it's a clear to me.
Triple H was there for the Attitude Era. Shawn
the longevity is something that's really.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
a
big key for Triple H, though.
Yeah, but that's like the era that kicked WCW's butt. So
yeah,
you have to weigh that more than
that's those 4 years. You have anything after 2010 because Triple H was still there for most of, if not all, the 2010s.
Yeah. I mean, he popped up here and there, but there was things that he did that were like there, and there were things that he did that were okay in that time frame.
I mean,
look at everything Shawn did in the first run was great. His second run in the Ruthless Aggression era, oh my gosh, the things that he did never even having to be the world champion and still putting on the type of matches, the main events, never having a bad WrestleMania match at all in that era. Not one.
What? Just to throw a curveball, what do we think about Roman Reigns?
Roman Reigns would be like at the 7-6 spot for me.
Really?
You know what?
Most WrestleMania main events of all time, longest world title reign in modern day.
Yeah, but we also got to count the bad. Like, there's good and bads in that too.
I mean, I don't disagree. There's a lot of bad.
I didn't say none.
There's a lot of bad.
I didn't say none.
There
was bad.
There's not a lot. There's a lot of bad, brother.
I mean, you look at he does. Okay, so we got to look at the good and bad. He has more WrestleMania main events than ever, but he also has some of the worst WrestleMania main events we've ever seen. He has some of the best as well. Roman Reigns went on a 3-year stretch. Triple H, Undertaker, Brock Lesnar, 3 consecutive matches.
I don't hate the Taker match, but the other two I could agree.
Taker match was terrible. It was awful.
I know the comments are going to eat me alive for this, but I will stand on it that the Triple H Roman match isn't as bad as people say it is. Maybe it's just my nostalgia, but it was
very boring. It was very boring.
I thought the Taker match for the story was good. Obviously, Taker was ass and washed.
The build was, and not all of these are Roman's, necessarily his fault.
Yes,
the Triple H match was very boring. It was like 30 minutes too long. People really weren't invested into it because we knew Triple H was like a transitional champion, just passing the title back to Roman. People didn't want as the guy. The Undertaker match, obviously Taker wasn't in the best physical shape, so Roman, I feel like, did what he could do, but the match was terrible. And then the Brock Lesnar match at 34 is arguably one of the worst WrestleMania main events I've ever seen.
That is my least favorite WrestleMania main event.
They literally put the two guys in the main event that people legitimately did not want in either number one top spot.
I genuinely enjoyed the WrestleMania 1 main event more than that.
But then again, it weighs out because Roman now has some of the greatest WrestleMania main events we've ever seen.
Matches with
Cody. The match with Daniel Bryan and Edge, the triple threat, the one he just had this year with Seth and CM Punk. Like, he's got some of the best ones now, too.
I would argue his best is better than Cena's best.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, I don't think Cena's best matches were ever at a WrestleMania.
So are you even, Malik, are you even going to sniff Roman above Shawn Michaels?
I can't do that, bro.
I mean, shit. I mean, the way now you brought him back up, I'm probably taking him over Triple H. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Roman?
Now I might have to take him over Shawn Michaels. I might have to.
Roman's highs are very high, so I won't be necessarily upset if people have him in the 5, but you also have to be consistent with the bad. At a main event level, we've never seen somebody have those type of lows at the main event level. Getting pushed to that extent at a main event level. Not even Cena. Roman Reigns is getting more boos and bad reactions than John Cena was at the peak. Like that's fair. You talk about Cena being a part of the worst eras. 2018, 2019 was unbearable for WWE at that time frame. Like literally unwatchable. If it wasn't for AEW, I don't know if people would have really come back to WWE or had an alternative.
I quit watching for 2 years. It was unbearable.
Yeah, like people stopped legitimately watching like during that time frame. Like it was insufferable. So Roman was part of like maybe the worst time frame we've ever seen in the company's time. Like I would watch 2010, 2011, 2012 WWE before I ever go back and watch 2019 and 2018.
That's fair. No, that's fair.
Everybody has lows, right? Like, John Cena was the prototype, Rock was Rocky Maivia, Austin was the ringmaster, but we're talking those guys weren't being pushed to a main event level. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they were throwing Roman Reigns in the WrestleMania main events every year before people even really accepted it or wanted to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying it kind of has to weigh out. Like Roman's highs are very high. I think his peak is one of the greatest peaks I've ever seen in my lifetime. I think he's cemented himself as the greatest champion I've ever seen the company have when it comes to stories, match quality, moments they were providing, like always able to revive the storyline and make it good again. So his peak really puts him up here, but you also can't forget the lows, if that makes sense. Like at a main event level, I don't know if we've seen somebody have the type of lows to the extent that Roman had with the dog food and like there was some bad lows in there.
When we just brought up the title reign, that title reign,
was
Shawn Michaels' title reign was as memorable or even close.
No, Shawn Michaels has never had a title reign as better than Roman Reigns.
That's points that go over. I think Roman's storytelling is top tier.
Yeah, but so is Shawn Michaels, though. Shawn Michaels had some of the greatest stories we've ever seen.
I'm taking Roman's over that. I'm going to be honest.
Over the streak versus career?
Yeah.
I think if we're talking strictly putting people that were the face of their time and were the best at it, I don't think Shawn was the face of the new generation era, which Malik, you said is the worst era in wrestling history. He was not the face of the ruthless aggression era. Roman Reigns is the face of the return to form WWE. You can make the argument that it's Cody as well, but Cody's ascent was built on the back of Roman Reigns in the bloodline carrying wrestling back to relevancy after years of it being the worst it has ever been. I would go Roman, Shawn, Triple H. I could feel comfortable with that.
I can agree with that. You make really good points for Shawn Michaels over.
I'm giving you Triple H.
I genuinely agree with that because you said again. I don't think Triple H is better at anything than Shawn Michaels. Now, I definitely think some of the storytelling and the authority and like as a GM was really good. But I still think again, Shawn Michaels definitely is better at basically everything than Triple H. The longevity is there for Hunter, but Shawn again, the talent. But I would take Roman over those two.
And we haven't said Rock, we haven't said Orton, and we haven't said Lesnar are the other ones on my list that we haven't said.
Ooh, The Rock. I forgot about The Rock. I won't lie.
I love The Rock. I think the final boss is genuinely the best work of his career.
Now, The Rock, I could argue with Triple H.
Golden stuff back in the day. But The Rock was in a main event level, was not there very long.
Should we establish what we have right now, or?
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, so we can establish the fifth spot. So we have Cena, we have Taker, we have Austin. So it's between Roman and Shawn Michaels.
I'm taking Roman Reigns.
I'm gonna go Roman too. The comments are gonna cook me, but I'm gonna go with Roman.
Listen, I think we're speaking like truth though. I mean, like again, the Tribal Chief run is one of the greatest runs.
But I'm outvoted. So if you guys want to put Roman Reigns at 5, we'll put. I don't agree. I 100% believe Shawn Michaels is better. But if you want to put Roman Reigns there, I will.
I just don't think Shawn Michaels had a peak like Roman Reigns had the peak.
Shawn Michaels didn't have the peak, but he's been consistently better throughout his career than Roman Reigns.
That's 100% fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. It's like Roman's peak is great, but I'm also looking at the good and bad. And Shawn Michaels ain't never had no lows, like the big dog lows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you said Roman Reigns is the greatest champion ever. We have Undertaker as the greatest character, right? We have Undertaker as the greatest character, right? We have Austin as the greatest peak. I think Shawn Michaels is the greatest in-ring performer WWE's ever had. Bell to bell, wrestling-wise, he is the number one guy. You want to have a good match with somebody, you put them in the ring with Shawn Michaels, and he can make shit turn into gold. Like, he's the one guy you could look at. I feel like if that person if you were to have a bad match with Shawn Michaels, he's one of those guys where like nobody's gonna blame Shawn Michaels. You know what I mean? Like nobody's gonna be like, oh, that's Shawn Michaels' fault. You're gonna be like, you can't have a good match with Shawn Michaels. Your ass. Like something's bad with you. So that's the only argument point I make. We're talking about Roman's the best champion, these best peaks, but Shawn Michaels has that over everybody though. So that's what I feel like also holds weight. Like
I think everything Roman did was always top of the card, the main event.
Yeah,
there was a lot of Shawn Michaels matches that fell middle of the card.
But I think that was to a point to his greatness. You could plug Shawn Michaels anywhere on the card. You could plug him in the beginning, middle, or the end. Doesn't matter where you plug him in. You could plug him in the middle, beginning, or end. He could go out there and work with anybody. He fucking went out in WrestleMania and put on a banger with Vince McMahon, not all people. You know what I mean? Like, he's proven that he can go out there and work with anybody at that high level. Like, it doesn't matter who you put me in the ring with.
So what are we going? What are we going on?
If you ask me, I think it's Roman and Shawn's right behind him.
You guys, I already said it. I'll put Roman. You guys already voted for Roman. So
cool.
You guys want Roman at 5?
I think Roman's 5. I think Shawn's 6. I don't think that's debatable. You've given me enough arguments that nobody else would go over Shawn Michaels after that.
I would argue the next 3 have to, in some order, have to be Triple H, The Rock, and Randy Orton.
100%.
So is Triple H? Are we sure?
I feel like the next 2 should be Rock and Triple H. One of those 2.
Not Randy.
No, Randy's below them.
Really?
He's below Triple H and he's below The Rock. Yes.
Not for the longevity at this point. He hasn't taken breaks like.
Yeah, but there's also a lot of those years where Randy Orton just kind of felt there, like he was just there.
Yeah, that's fair. A lot of the 2010s. Yeah,
like he's always been consistent. He's a legend. But if you look at like 2015, he kind of just felt there. 2016, there.
He was out. No, he was out for a lot of 2016.
He came back, still there. Like
got absolutely mauled by Brock Lesnar.
Like 2018, 2019, he's there. The way I'm looking at it, Rock's peak is better than Orton's to me. Triple H's peak was better.
Yeah.
You look at their stories, their matches. I'm putting those over Randy's as well. Like you look at Triple H's best matches compared to Randy's best matches. Triple H has better matches. Rock, I feel like, has better matches.
I'm gonna go with that. Yeah.
I would feel like Randy would be at the bottom half of that list. So I personally think the next 2 should be Rock or Triple H.
I can agree with that. Are there any names we're forgetting? Like, how do we feel about Kurt Angle in this list?
No, Kurt Angle wouldn't be.
I love Kurt Angle. I think he's the top behind Sean, probably the second best professional wrestler of all time.
He's
It's
top
just
5 belt entering
you,
guys for
you
me.
can't. Most of his best work was in TNA.
I think the last 3 names we're talking about the 10 spot to me would either be between Edge, Brock, or Bret Hart. Those would be the names that I'm looking at.
Wait, so how many we have right now? 6?
We have 6.
6 to Sean, Triple H, Randy, and
Rock.
Rock get us to 9.
So who do we want to put at 7 behind Shawn Michaels?
I think it's got to go Triple H right behind.
I'm voting for The Rock.
Now it's down to, do I think The Rock's limited years were better than Triple H's many years?
So you basically got to weigh out who you feel like has better impact, better overall stories, better just everything, better superstar. You also got to count the promos, the characters, and all that stuff. So however,
Now, The Rock had great promos, but the amount of them, I feel like Triple H has just so much more substance to what he's done. Now, I will say the The Rock probably has better stories if you ask me at the top, because like the Cena one was amazing. The Final Boss work was beautiful for the
Austin.
3 months he was doing it.
Rock and
I
Austin.
mean-
Rock and Triple H was also good.
Yeah, Rock and Austin, Rock and Foley, Rock and Triple H, their story with each other was amazing. Probably go for The Rock.
That's fine. I'm cool with that.
I think The Rock.
I think
I
that's
just
that,
think the amount of good that he had, even with it being limited, and we're talking
Yeah.
about it, I keep hearing more of these. Triple H never hit that level.
and this list is difficult because of the fact we're comparing so many different careers. The Rock,
Yeah,
had a
it's
short
tough. It's
career.
tough.
Triple H had a long career. The Rock was super charismatic, but the Triple H was better in ring and had a longer career. So there's so many different things you weigh that really does make this difficult. And I think a lot of people just on the internet just fail to realize that. They're like, "How dare you put Roman above Bruno Sammartino?" And it's like, dude. You have to. There's so many. Wrestling is not a black and white sport. There's
Someone's gonna hate that we're not saying Andre the Giant's name at all.
John Cena, Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Hulk Hogan, and then we have Roman Reigns in the top 5. Then we have
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, we have
The
The
Rock.
Rock, Triple H, and then Randy Orton.
Yes.
We have 1 spot left. So who are we fighting for in that 1 spot?
I
Brock.
hate that my heart goes Brock Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. I we can talk about it, but I just
Yeah,
think
we
with
can
all
talk
he's
about it.
done, with all this man has done, being at the top of the card,
Bar Kurt Angle, the greatest rookie year of all time.
Yeah.
If he didn't leave to the NFL and UFC, obviously we have a different conversation here. But
Oh, he's pushing
he
like
came
top
back
5.
he
I
came
mean,
back
hell,
strong,
I might be able to
but
say a better rookie year than Kurt Angle. This man was the WWE champion, was the main event, the Rumble winner of WrestleMania in his rookie year.
No, he did crazy things the rookie year. You look at Brock. He did a lot of crazy things, but we talk about that bad. Oh my
I
god.
know, I understand there is a
Yeah.
heap butt ton of awful ass in
There is
there with
a
Brock Lesnar.
lot of bad during
The
his
worst.
time.
I mean, I said Brock Lesnar, but worst Money in the Bank winner, Bar
Worst Universal
Austin
Champion.
Theory.
Like he had
No,
No,
you can't say that. You can't even say that. You can't say that.
no.
he just did. Brock Lesnar
Wait,
is
my
not in the
thing
top
is-
10. He is not in the top 10. I'm sorry.
I can't
I would-
see Edge over Brock Lesnar. I just
Edge
can't see it.
consistently better stories, better match quality, better everything. Better
But I
everything.
I would argue
Edge was
Edge's
never the
entire
guy.
purpose-
He didn't have to be.
Edge's
Neither was
entire
Undertaker. We still got him in here. Randy Orton was never the guy. He's still in here. Triple H
There
was
was
never the
flashes.
guy.
entire
There was
purpose
flashes,
of The
though.
main event was to
They were
lose
never
to
the
John
guy.
Cena.
We're talking about the face. That's the guy. Like they were never the guy. Edge at one point considered one of the greatest heels of that era, of the Ruthless Aggression era, has consistently very good World Heavyweight Championship reigns, consistently good matches, first Money in the Bank win. He got historic moments as the tag team as well with the Hardys and the Dudleys in the Attitude Era. Like Edge's career was cut off, but even in that time frame, he still did all that stuff in that short time frame that before he even had to retire. And then when he came back, he gave us the good story with Roman, the good story with Seth. He had the good story with Judgment Day, even though it didn't end well with him beating the Fiend. But that story was good though before it, the execution didn't end. So he was still even giving us good stuff later in his years when he came back. Brock
There's
Lesnar
many
has
guys I
too
would
many.
take over Edge.
Brock Lesnar has too much bad for me to put him in the top 10.
I would
What
take
if-
Seth Rollins over Edge.
Now I'm not mad if you want to put Seth Rollins in there. I will not debate Seth Rollins being on here.
I can't do that.
I think
can't.
Seth has had consistently. He's been consistent all his years. In
I don't
WWE.
think I can do that.
I don't know, man. I think there's a couple guys I would take over Edge, and I don't know if I feel comfortable putting him at number 10.
I'm definitely not. I'm not agreeing to Brock. I will not put Brock Lesnar on here.
Really?
What?
He has
Eight
too much
WrestleMania
bad, bro.
events?
There's too much bad. The bad outweighs the good so much, bro, on here for me to put him on here, bro. If he-
If you're saying that, then Hulk Hogan had so much bad.
His is just politics, though. His is just because of his politics. Brock Lesnar had quality.
None of his
stories
stuff
bad.
he did was good.
Nope, Hulk Hogan's bad. Aren't Brock Lesnar's bad. Stop it. We're reaching now. Now we're reaching.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. Malik's right. Brock Lesnar's bads are
His bads were in. So he was one part of the reason the product was unbearable to watch at the time.
That's true. That's true.
We stopped watching because of him.
I
You were
agree with that.
overloading my brain with ass to where I don't want Brock Lesnar anywhere near my top 10 solely on the fact of how much ass there was. And
There's a
you're
lot of
bringing
ass.
back traumatic events in my life of watching Brock Lesnar wrestle in 2017.
It's not even, and the main reason that it was bad too. You got to remember the reason I'm pointing out guys like Samoa Joe and Braun Strowman when he was beating guys like that, it affected their careers after that.
No,
Like,
you're 100% right.
those
You're
people
right.
didn't recover. Like they never recovered after that. They were statistically putting the title on Brock because he was just a draw. But they
Yes.
weren't following up with the quality of making him good stories. Like Roman Reigns, I can agree on because even when he was on a part-time schedule, when he was there, he was providing good stories, good matches, good quality that made it watchable. Brock Lesnar was doing the opposite of that.
You're really talking me into not saying Brock. It's not going to be Edge, but you're definitely talking me not into Brock because I just feel like there was a lot of bad. Like I think Roman, even when he was, people didn't like because he was part time. You always made sure you watch TV. I think there's probably people who would skip Brock Lesnar at that
It
point.
was bad.
Are we gonna talk ourselves into Bret Hart here?
No,
Brett,
I'm taking Seth
I wouldn't
Rollins
hate.
over
I wouldn't hate Brett. I wouldn't hate Brett on here. I would not be mad at Brett on here.
I mean, we've
comfortable
got
taking Seth
Jericho
Rollins.
up there.
No, I wouldn't put Jericho.
Still take Seth Rollins. I think it's Seth.
I can't put Seth in my top 10.
Why is that not in the 10 though?
He's not the face. He's not.
But there's a lot of guys you got to come up with a better argument because there's a lot of guys on here that were never the face. Randy Orton's on here; he was never the face.
I would
Triple
put.
H.
If you look at,
I would
Seth's
arguably
career-
put Edge above Seth.
I agree.
I can't.
I agree.
But if it's you two, then it has to be. But I can't say that. I can't comfortably say that Edge is over Seth Rollins.
So hold on, let's look at Seth's career. We'll look at the good and bad. So obviously he came with the Shield. Shield breaks up, goes in the Authority, Money in the
Seth
Bank,
Rollins killed it.
WrestleMania main event cash in, the
Yeah.
WWE Championship reign in 2015, which was pretty good. 2016, 2017, 2018, he was kind of floating around, but Seth, I feel like kind of got overshadowed by Roman because they were trying to push Roman as the guy. But Seth, I will give credit to him for only because I feel like he was one of the few superstars that actually survived during that Brock and Roman terror, where like a lot of people suffered in that time frame. Seth never really seemed to suffer in that time. He still
I thought
felt
the Triple H story was good.
he still felt
I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
the story was good, but I feel like Seth always felt consistent during that time. Like he still felt like a
Yes.
big enough star. He just never was the guy, which I will agree with. But how much
I
bad?
think we're
did he
just.
have?
I think we're there right now.
I think 2019 was his only worst year, and that was
And
mainly
it was his world title run.
I will say Seth is also one of the best at reinventing himself too.
Yes,
That's fair.
He's
That's
one
fair.
of the best at reinventing himself with his characters. I feel like his match quality. I mean, he's one of the best they've had consistently. I feel like Seth to me has been like this era's Shawn Michaels when it comes like you're the reliable
fair.
guy. Like you're the guy that you're reliable to us. We can plug you in anywhere that we need you, and you'll make it work. And you're the guy that can work with anybody. If we need you to have a good match with our mid carder, our main event guy, we'll throw you in there, and we want you to go out there and make it work. That's what I feel like Seth's position has been.
I would give him 2 more years to see this new faction of his that I think really has potential to be the next evolution, and I would feel comfortable putting him there.
I feel like the 3 names are between Brett, Seth, and Edge. Those are the 3 that I'm looking at. I can't see putting anybody else on there unless somebody wants maybe like a Macho Man, Randy Savage. Unless somebody wants to make a
No.
man.
No,
I could listen. I strongly could say. I feel like I could say no to Bret Hart. In the ring, he was incredible. I think there was good stories, but
So Brett's a no.
I don't think I can say that. I think I would definitely take
Counterpoint.
Seth over him.
Okay.
counterpoint. He's the most. I would argue he's one of the most influential wrestlers of all time in terms of his work rate.
100%.
So many wrestlers are like, Brett was my guy, and I based my body of work based off of Bret Hart.
Not to mention too, Brett is also a big reason of making a lot of stars. Made Stone Cold into Stone Cold. The Attitude Era really kind of pushed off because of him too with that screw job. Like it really kind of pushed off his back. You know what I mean? Like Brett was also the work rate guy too for that time frame. Like he was the guy. Like, hey, you wanna have a good match? Go work with that guy. Like Brett.
Yeah.
I feel like what holds Brett back is maybe his lack of storytelling and his character work compared to others. But in ring wise, he's definitely one of the best you will ever see.
I
think
didn't
Bret
realize
Hart's-
how long he was there in the tag division before he was a main eventer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
and
had,
he was built up the right way too. He went from tag team
Yeah.
mid card to main event. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they built him up in that order properly. So, But is Brett's quality better than Seth's or Edge?
No, like Bret Hart's, I think it was limited, but it was still good and it worked for Bret Hart. But in comparison to the others, I would take Edge over Bret Hart.
I would put Kurt Angle over Bret Hart, honestly.
So are we marking out Bret Hart? Is he getting an X?
I
I
would
think
say,
I'm okay with giving Bret an X.
Okay, so
well, he definitely, if it was top 15, he probably makes this list.
it seems like it's between Edge and Seth. Then I don't hear any other names that are being mentioned.
Yeah, I don't think Kurt has enough in WWE to be included.
I have Brock Lesnar's career accomplishments up right now, and it is so difficult to go against that. As much
His career accomplishments are pretty strong in the
of
street.
ass juice
All right,
Lesnar produced.
do we want to put like everything together between? I mean, if we can include Brock in this with Edge and Seth, and like comparatively,
So compare
this might come down to a checkbox. This might come down to a checkbox of all these categories that we're talking about and why.
So this is how I'm gonna look at it. Let's look at between Edge, Brock, and Seth. Right? Who do we feel is better on the mic between those three? Brock would be last, obviously.
Yeah.
I think Seth and Edge. We're talking mic work.
I'd probably say Edge because I feel like Seth is just getting into that next level the past couple of years, and I feel like there was definitely a long point where he was not the best on the mic.
Okay.
That's fair.
In ring,
Seth,
I would say Seth at 1,
undoubtedly.
and then Brock and Edge.
That's fair.
What about storytelling? Now we're looking at the embodiment of people they've worked with. Storytelling, Edge is number 1 for me.
That's
he
fair.
got the story with Cena, got the story with
Fair.
Orton, story with Undertaker. He got too many good stories.
Brock's not a
It's
story.
fair.
Brock isn't meant to be a story guy. That's not his purpose
Yeah.
in WWE.
How do you want to rate Impact? What about Impact?
Brock.
Brock is the biggest draw. One of the biggest draws WWE.
It'd be
ever had.
Brock. It'd be Seth, and then it's Edge.
Brock is one of the biggest draws ever. I will give you that. You said Seth at 2?
I would put Seth at 2. But if you put Edge at 2, I'm not going to act like it's the craziest thing in the world.
You gotta look at the bad too. So we also talk about the bad. So how would you rank everybody's bad? 1, 2, 3.
Brock's is last.
They've all had some stinkers.
They've all had bads, but whose bad was the
Brock.
worst?
Brock, then Seth, then Edge.
I'm just trying to think of what Edge is bad.
The
for.
only,
That's
like,
how you-
I have too many bads.
The only offensively bad thing I can think of with Edge is the Lita bed thing.
that Vicky shit was ass.
That's fair.
Now, the Taker
fair,
stuff
fair,
was
I'll give you
good.
that.
But the Vicky thing was horrible.
Well,
Fair.
hold on,
2010 stuff with
we talking about after 2010?
no.
Or are you talking about like
the Taker portions of the Edge 08 stuff was good. The Vicky stuff was bad. Like
Oh,
I'm just it kind of was the same time, but like I separate the two, so like I'm not gonna say it was a bad time, but the Vicky stuff was bad.
I don't
because
know
they
if
were
I'd say the Vicky stuff. I don't know if I say it was bad. That actually made Edge a bigger heel to me in that time because he went from Lita to Edge, and then Vicky was in the GM role. So then Edge was just throwing these opportunities that like, oh, he shouldn't be getting these chances and everything, and it just made him a more hated heel. One of the craziest things ever, if you go back and watch Survivor Series 08 when Jeff was at his peak. They took Jeff out the match for the story, and then Edge came back, and then they threw the title on Edge. Everybody was like, "Oh my
I remember
God,
that.
bro,
That
bro,
was
this guy, bro." So
Greatness, I have to go Brock. Best, not close.
yeah.
So Brock's good has a lot of good. You look at Brock's good compared to everybody else's. I feel like there's some good that could match up. Brock's bad. I feel like eclipses everybody else's bad.
Oh, 100%.
That's the reason I can't wait. I think Brock's good are good, but I don't think his good eclipses everybody else's that we just talked about. His good doesn't eclipse Seth. It doesn't eclipse Edge's good for me. His peaks may have been higher, but a lot of these guys still did a lot of good things in that time frame that I feel like hold a lot of weight.
10-time world champion.
Yeah, that weighs, sure.
So many WrestleMania main events.
I mean, those were good
Regardless of their quality, they happened.
They happen, yeah, but quality matters too, though. So we're rating.
But I would argue that it matters less in terms of greatness.
Yeah.
I feel like if your bad outweighs your good, then that holds more weight. Like if everybody's gonna have lows. Everybody on this list has lows. Everybody we named has had lows, but none of their lows outweigh their good. None of these people that we've named from the 1 to 9 have had lows that we look at like, yeah, that was a bad low. Their goods are just way better than their bads at that point.
Yeah.
I don't feel the same with Brock. His bad is just it just outweighs the good for me.
If I have to pick between the other two, I'm putting Edge over Seth.
I'm putting Seth over Edge.
Whew, yeah, Edge would make it for me.
Then that Edge is 10, I guess.
We have Undertaker at 2. We have Stone Cold at 3. We have Hulk Hogan at 4, and then we have Roman Reigns at 5. That is the top 5 that we have to agree on for this list. Then in the portion of the second half, we have number 6 was Shawn Michaels, 7 was The Rock, 8 was Triple H, 9 Randy Orton, and then 10 was Edge. So in that particular order, that is the top 10 greatest WWE superstars of all time that we have on this list that we have agreed on.
Dominic Mysterio snubbed. Heartbreaking. I tried my best, guys. I really did.
Rey Mysterio's in your top 10?
No, Dominic.
Oh, Dominic. I said right.
I tried so hard, guys. All my Dominic Mysterio fans, I tried so hard to get him there. They just wouldn't listen.
If you had to revamp this list yourself, what are some things you would have changed, and some people maybe you would have added, or maybe some of the order you would have changed? You feel like anybody got snubbed?
Brock, probably.
That's really the only person I could make an argument for, and solely based on accolades and aura and draw.
Okay. Not bad, fellas. That's what makes the top 10 hard. You have to agree to disagree. You have to come up with a reasonable list for everybody to kind of, rank off of. So, thank you guys for coming through. I appreciate you guys for taking the time out of your day to be a part of this. We'll see how the people feel. I'm sure there's people who are going to be upset with the.
Get ready to get the hate. Get ready to be hated. We're
yeah!
Make sure you guys go subscribe to their platform. Check out all their social media. Show them some love. Once again, let you guys plug in your stuff. Aiden will let you plug in your stuff, and then Van Fleet, you plug in your stuff, and then we're going to go ahead and sign off.
All right. Everybody, if you haven't already, subscribe to my YouTube channel, Aiden the Chong. We're going to get more YouTube videos out in the very near future. A lot more people. You see these two guys, they're on the channel already. They'll definitely be there again. Aiden the Chong on TikTok, Aiden the Chong on Instagram. It's pretty much where you'll find me. I have a Discord server. You can find it in my bios. And pass to Van Vliet, which before he goes, stream a song, by the way. He makes damn good music. And that's coming from me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You can find me VanVleet WWE on Instagram, TikTok. We're working on YouTube. It's going to happen at some point. I also make music again on Spotify, Apple Music, all the above. Van Vliet. You can stream my newest song, Bermuda. It's a banger. And yeah, thank you. Malik.
There's merch.
There is going to be merch. It's not publicly out yet, but we're working on it. It's fire. But thank you again, Malik, for having me. I appreciate you. This has been fun, and I can't wait to see how badly the comments flame us.
Thank you, Malik, again. You are a very, very good host for us.
Before we head off, I always got to ask every guest that come here for the first time. Everybody has to give a hot take. So whoever wants to give one of the craziest hot takes they have, whoever wants to go first.
He can go first.
So I will just go off this just because I recently filmed a TikTok where Small Afro, one of the Vibe people, reacted to one of my hot takes videos from like forever ago. So I will literally just go off of that video. I said that Braun Strowman is in big guy GOAT consideration. And that was not taken too very well.
All right, I'm going to get flamed for this one. I'm ready for this. Gunther as world champion has missed the mark. It's not hot as people want.
That's not a hot take at all, brother.
Some people love him for some reason. I'm just going to be honest. Gunther as the world champion is not it.
I think Gunther's awesome. He just didn't do anything.
His first reign wasn't really that special. No, his second reign yet to be determined. But his first reign wasn't really that
his first reign was not better than Damian Priest's reign.
I agree. Hot take that I'll give. Let me see if I can. I've had so many that I've already named. I want to try to be different and maybe say something that I haven't said. I don't like the Triple H King of Kings theme song. I think it's terrible.
That's valid. That's so valid. I'm okay with that.
I hate it so much. I really don't like it.
No, it's not humble.
A lot of people.
It's not humble. I can't.
Not humble.
It's not humble.
It is not humble.